Hey everybody! So another thing that came up recently, from that I've been told about from the trolls is that I refuse to be on diabetic formula or a keto formula because why would I want to help myself get better? That's untrue. There are only certain formulas, and I have been through this a lot of times. There are only certain formulas that are covered in Ontario. I have to go by what's on the coverage list. Second to that is some formulas have been on back order for a very long time. So the list is linked in my bio. I'm happy to do a video going over the list if anybody would like me to. I can do up screenshots of the list and go over it point by point if that's what you like to do. I will discuss a couple of things. So there are 2 listed diabetic formulas on the formula list. So the one formula that's on there called Resource Diabetic or Diabetic Resource is a diabetic formula. I have been on it. It did wonders for my sugars, but there was another issue. If you guys have seen my videos where my current formula all of a sudden thickens right up and turns to like goo in the feed bag, and then it then doesn't work properly, it'll either clog my tube or clog up the giving tube. That's what was happening with the Resource Diabetic every single day. Every day it was happening. I would do a brand new feed bag, brand new formula, not mixing the formula with water, literally just the formula in a brand new bag. It didn't matter. I tried using ice packs. It didn't matter. Every single day it would turn to that goo and be no good. I even tried just putting one container in at a time. So it's like 250 milliliters or the little tetras, one at a time. And at that time, I was running at full speed. So I was running between 80 and 85 milliliters an hour, which is what my goal rate is. And it would still manage to do that within the time frame. So you're figuring it would take just a little over 2 hours to run through formula, because at 85 mils an hour, 250 milliliters, you get the gist. It would be just a little over 2 hours to be able to run that, and it would still, within that time frame, turn to that goo. So I don't know what's going on. That was the second time that had happened to me. I tried it the very first time after coming out of hospital. They first put me on Longevity, and then when that wasn't agreeing with me, we found the diabetic formula, and that's what they put me on. And it happened that time, and then and I thought maybe it was just because it was getting too much direct sunlight, because when I lived at Mike's house, it's all windows, so there was a lot of sunlight coming through. So I thought maybe that was the issue. And then I think it was just last year. No, it was, sorry, we're still in 2024. It was earlier this year. I was on Resource Diabetic. I'm sure I've got videos of it. If it's not on this account, it's on the account that got taken down, unfortunately. But where I was on the Resource Diabetic, and it was still doing the same thing. It was last winter. Because I thought it was because it was too hot in my apartment, because my apartment gets very, very hot in the winter. We have hot water radiators, and we don't have access to control our heat. So it just gets very warm in here. We're dealing with it a little bit of this year. We've got windows open, fans going, but we weren't prepared for that last year. But it would turn to goo within 2 hours, right? So that was not usable. The other one on the list is called Glucerna 1.0. It is not this one. This is not the Glucerna that's on that approved list. This Glucerna that you can buy in the stores is not covered. So I have 2 6-packs of this left. The pharmacy actually paid for it earlier this year, because they thought it was covered. And when they ordered it in and they had it and they went to run it through ODB, it came back not covered. Because of the fact it's so expensive, they knew I wouldn't be able to afford it. And so they paid for it for me as a one-time thing. And I still have 2 cases left because I switched off of it, because there was no point in continuing on it when I couldn't get it covered. Ensure is covered, which, is the equivalent of this that's full sugared. Ensure is covered, but Glucerna is not. Apparently Glucerna is not seen as a full meal replacement, is what I've been told. And so that's why it's not on the coverage list, as silly as that is. So that's it for diabetic formulas, though. Those are the only 2 on the coverage list. There's another one that isn't necessarily a diabetic formula, but it is made with diabetics in mind. It is high protein, low carbs. Tried it, was amazing on it, but it's not on the coverage list. And each bottle or each tetra is, I don't even know, it's like each case usually has 24 in a case. Like even these, I'd get 4 boxes of 6 in a case, right? And it's something like close to $300 for a case of formula. That does me about 4 to 6 days, depending how many I'm taking. So the Glucerna, I was doing 6 a day because it wasn't high calorie, right? So I was going through a box a day. So $300 did not even get through a full week. That's way outside my price range. Even if I could afford groceries like a normal person, which, I mean, I can a little bit, but not like a full grocery shop. I help Bestie buy groceries now because I've gotten a little bit more money, and so I can actually help out more. My bills have also been lowered. My phone bill is lowered and stuff like that. So, again, I have a little extra money to be able to help out more. But even at that, like, I wouldn't be able to afford $300 every, 4, 5, 6 days. That's $300 a week, we'll say. Even if it was a week, let's say $300 a week. I can't afford that. $1,200 a month, that's insane, right? So I have to go with what's covered. Next, we'll move into, they suggested keto. Yes, great suggestion. I agree. There are 2 different kinds of keto formulas, Keto Vi and Keto... I'm not sure. I can't remember. I'll be completely honest. I don't remember. But I know there's 2 different forms of keto formula available that are on the coverage list. I have called every single pharmacy in town. They can't get them. Their distributors, their warehouse, wherever they get their stuff from, doesn't carry it. So, unfortunately, the keto formula also is off the menu simply because it can't be gotten. If it could be gotten, then absolutely I would be on the keto formula because, yeah, keto is a great way for diabetics to do. A great diet, whatever, for diabetics to do. I agree. I 100% agree with you. But it's not available in town. And that sucks. So, unfortunately, I'm stuck with the regular formulas that are high in carbs, high in calories. And that's my only choice when I'm on formula. But I'm doing what I can and working with my dietitian to hopefully come up with a better solution. I've got about 2 days left of formula and potentially more because I've been running very slow since yesterday. I'm only running at 25. So it's taking pretty well all day to go through just 2 bottles of formula. So it's going to last a little bit longer. And then I'm going to be switching over to this. So I will have 2 days worth of this, depending on my feed rate. I'll have up to 2 days worth of this, and then I'm switching back to the Pivot 1.5 because I still have extra of that left over until we decide what formula to put me on. We were thinking like Neocate Jr. or Alpha Amino Jr., but she said, unfortunately, those don't meet my nutritional needs. So she doesn't want to put me on those because I'd be lacking in a lot of areas according to the dietitian. I posted the chart that she had sent me. I emailed her back saying if I'm on a multivitamin, would that make a difference? Because I do take a multivitamin, so we'll see what she says on that. And if she still says no to the Neocate or Alpha Amino Jr., I was thinking about trying the Vivanex 10. Again, though, it's a high-calorie formula, but it's another amino acid-based formula. So, wait and see what we can do. Again, if you'd like me to actually go over point by point the approved list, let me know, and I'm happy to do so. And then finally, like I said, like the only reason I'm even talking about what I've been sent about what the trolls are saying is because these last couple of videos have been something that I can turn into an educational video. Not educational trolls because they don't care. But for anybody else who may have the same or similar questions, here's the answers. Again, any questions, concerns, comments, want to know something, ask away.